Just because the puzzle piece fits, it does not mean it belongs in the picture that you are trying to create. If you're someone with kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but there are times when you are trying to fit the pieces of a puzzle together. And somewhere along the lines, you've picked up some other piece or some other puzzle piece from another box, and it slipped into the pieces that you have. And of course, that piece, you'll find that it fits, but then when you step back and actually look at the image, you'll find that it doesn't actually fit. It doesn't create the image or the picture that you're trying to create with the puzzle pieces that you have in front of you. Now, this is exactly what it looks like when you're in a situation, in a relationship that does not align with who you are, or your purpose, or your vision, or the goals that God and the gifts that God has given you. They do not align, or the relationship does not align. And the more that you keep the relationship continuing, or the more that you sustain the relationship or stay in the relationship, the more compromising that you do in order to maintain that relationship. Compromising in who you are as a person, compromising in the gifts that God has given you, compromising in your purpose. And I'm sure you don't want to look back 30 years from now and look back and realize that you wasted a lot of time trying to maintain a relationship that didn't even align with you to begin with. You need to recognize when a relationship has run its course and it's time for you to actually break away from the relationship. You need to recognize when it's time to release people from your life, even if it's platonic, romantic. You need to recognize the timings of every single relationship. Not everyone that is walking with you will continue with you in this lifetime. Not everyone that walks with you today will walk with you tomorrow. And you need to be able to allow yourself to let go of these people when the time actually comes. And so I'm speaking to the people right now that are in a place where you are in a place right now where you want to create something different. You are dreaming bigger for yourself. You recognize that the situation that you're in right now does not align with your purpose, with the gifts and the goals that God has given you, or the goals that God has downloaded in your spirit. I'm not telling you to break up or anything like that. Whatever situation that you're in right now does reflect broken parts of you right now, and those broken parts of you need to be healed, need to be resolved before you can actually begin to see the things that you are dreaming of reflect in your outwards reality. And that is being intentional about the things, your identity, how you view yourself, what others have attached to your identity, allowing yourself to detach from those ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that other people have actually attached to who you are as a person, and rediscovering who you are, and allowing your outwards approach or how you treat yourself to reflect the newfound belief systems that you're now developing, that you're now building within yourself. And then lo and behold, the pieces that you're trying to fit into the picture that God has given you, you will recognize that you no longer need to have those pieces in place anymore, that you can actually just pick them up and put them away. They don't belong in your story. And by doing this, you're making room for the right piece to actually come in and fit in that puzzle that God has, or the picture that God has given you. And the pieces that actually come to join the picture, or to create the full picture that God has given you, your strengths and weaknesses will not be the same, but they will complement each other. You will build each other up to the point where both of you are actually moving more and more close to your purpose, and actually creating the life and the picture and the story that God has given to you. Now, I want to touch on something really important as well. I know a lot of people, especially if you're someone that grew up Christian, a lot of the times you, as a woman, you are taught that, you know, once you get married, you're helping your husband to build, or to, you know, drive the family in the purpose that God has for your husband. And I know I'm not the only person that has heard this doctrine taught, that a lot of the times, you know, women that do end up getting married, they give up parts of themselves to accommodate this vision or this purpose that their husband has, not realizing that you're actually doing yourself a disservice, and by letting go of parts of yourself to accommodate a vision that your husband has. The thing that is going to help you actually live a fulfilling life and live a happy life is when you learn to actually find yourself, to find your purpose, to find the gifts that God has given you and to work on them and to master them. The person that God has intended for you is a person that is going to serve you as a wife and vice versa. It's not one person solely serving another person. You both serve each other to fulfill the purpose that God has given you both. And each of you have your own individual purposes, but when they come together, it creates this beautiful story, this beautiful purpose, this beautiful journey for the both of you to take and for the both of you to create this beautiful legacy that the both of you can create. It is not one person has to give up parts of themselves to accommodate this idea or this belief system or this purpose that another person has. You don't have to do that. And if you are finding yourself in a situation where you have to choose either your purpose, the things that drive or put fire in your soul, or that reflect the joy and the love that God has given you, if you're having to let go of those things to maintain a relationship. Now, just to preface, there are times and seasons for everything, and not everything has to be done all at once. I'm talking about those people that are in situations right now where you have given up things, gifts, parts, you've shrunk yourself, you've compromised to maintain a relationship. You have to sit there and ask yourself, now, is this what God really wants for me? Is this how God really wants me to live? Because you would have already taken note that you're probably not happy in yourself. You're not happy because you're not operating in your purpose. You've given up many parts of yourself to accommodate or to maintain a relationship. You're not fulfilled. You're lacking joy, you're angry, you're bitter, you're resentful because you're looking on the other side and seeing the other person is doing fine, doing well, operating in their God-given gifts. And then you, on the other hand, have dimmed your light because you internally believe that your role is to serve the other person without working on the gifts that God has given you. Because ultimately, that is what creates the full picture. These are the things that add to the beautiful picture that God is creating for you, is when you learn how to maintain your sense of autonomy in a relationship, regardless of the situation or how beautiful or how giving the man is. You maintain your sense of autonomy. Learn to maintain and work and master the gifts that God has given you, because there is a reason why God has given you those things. It is not for you to chuck them in the bin and for you to solely be so wrapped around your husband's life. Build a life for yourself and merge those lives together. Two shall become one. Realize that it doesn't say one, like half of this person and half of that person come together to make a whole. No, two very whole people with their own individual purposes come together to create what? This beautiful harmony, this beautiful oneness within the both of yous. None of you need to give up parts of yourself. If you're in a situation right now where you've recognized that you're not aligned with this person, rather than trying to make external changes to your reality, go within, because there is a reason why you are there to begin with. There is a reason why you allowed yourself to compromise so many parts of yourself to maintain this relationship. Work on those reasons. Allow yourself to detach from those belief systems and those ideas that you have internalized, so that your internal state, the harmony that you feel internal, can actually begin to shift your reality for you without you having to push and shove and do so much unnecessary labor or work externally to bring the picture that God has given you into completion. And the best takeaway from this is, whatever you're doing, do it with God. Do it with God's leading, do it with God's guidance, because that is the best type of guidance. He is a God that is not contained within our time frames. He is in our future and He is in our past. He recognizes and knows every single detour, every turn, every every single pathway that is possible for us to get to the dream life, or the dream life that God intends for us. And it is in your best interest to seek his guidance and to seek his wisdom when it comes to your purpose, when it comes to the person that God wants you to do life with and wants you to build a legacy, a beautiful story with. Now, if you are ready to rediscover who you are so you can start creating the life that actually aligns with your true identity, not the identity that the world has given you, not all this nasty, untrue things that have been attached to your identity, but your true God-given identity. My name is Devota and I am an identity coach. And if you are ready to rediscover who you are so that you can start to create the life that actually aligns with your true identity, a life that aligns with the desires that you have been given, that God has given you, there is a link in my bio. Go into the link and press and book your call today so that you can start living in the life that you have desired for a long time. It's time to let that dream become your reality.